Welcome everybody, ladies and gentlemen, gents and ladies men. What a bad joke. We have 5 marketing tactics from AI B2B agency owners around ethics, around first sale, getting the first sale. Not the first sale in your life, but the first sale per client. Lead nurture, niching, and human in the loop. So let's crack into it. Addressing ethical concerns in AI implementation. Ethical concerns in AI implementation. Data privacy, accountability, bias, and fairness. Yeah, so basically about the data privacy I want to talk to you about. So I had a call with a person who wanted to talk to me on the last Friday. And we spoke about data privacy. And then the following Sunday we had another reunion where data privacy has been coming up as well. And so one of the examples that I want to say is that one of my clients, he is basically working with public data. He can scrape publicly available data on websites and makes a competitor report to other businesses in that industry. And I told him that you are in a great position with that because this can be done without the concerns of handling client data. On the other hand, if you do handle client data, you want to be very aware of that and very considerate about that, because the companies that you want to sell, the businesses that you want to sell the solution to, will likely request that you have an answer to the data privacy concern, because they will be liable, and in turn, you probably, this is not legal advice, you can consult with an accountant or lawyer for these questions. But I'm saying that they will request that you have an answer for data privacy. So be careful about that. And so if you can choose an AI automation that doesn't require that, you make it even easier for yourself. Now, every business has something that's hard, and you can choose your hard. But one kind of hard you will have to solve in this business. And so in the same way as I talked to a person who is in Dubai, who told me about the challenges about getting into the oil and gas industry there. That is a challenge and that is hard, but other businesses are hard too. In the medical field, in dealing with client data, that is in a certain way hard. So you want to pick your hard. And just because one opportunity doesn't seem to have any hard, doesn't mean that there is no hard about it. The hard will appear in some kind of way. Using AI as an entry point for broader services. So here we want to be talking about making the first sale per customer, not the first sale for you, for your agency. Meaning we want to make it easy for the person to say yes to. That's exactly why I had the conversation with the one client that I just spoke to you about the competitor analysis automation, where we are looking at first making this one product right, getting this right, and just getting to the revenue level that he wants to, so that he can quit his current means of paying for his expenses. Then, after we have made this one, we have delivered that one product well, then you can find additional services to sell to the same customers even. And so for that, it's also advisable to make just one product well, because that will take time in itself and it will be more complicated than you think it will be. And it's also enough to hit your revenue goals. Look, most people have revenue goals to pay the bills that are not extravagant. Let's get there first. Let's get one thing established. Let's get all of the branding and the social media and all of the things that are going on with that. It's hard enough. Let's do one thing, let's hit the revenue level, and then we grow from there. You know, whether it's like 3,000, 5,000 or 10,000 per month, even though 10,000 for a lot of people, that's really more than they need. And I'm really asking you, why do you want that much? Although really like in the beginning. Because oftentimes when we try to sprint towards that number, it's oftentimes harder than we expect. Now, unless we have years of business experience and we're like, I sell two $5,000 solutions, what's the matter with it? But you want to have clear awareness. Have you sold before? It's like, are you a professional? Do you know like what it's like to work and to work a lot of hours on the computer? And have you got your life circumstances set up? Are you stable? Do you have your routines and everything in place? You know, can you speak? Can you sell? Do you have an audience? Do you have a brand? All of these things go into that. Do you have like a proper machine, or is it like all over the place and everything is kind of jumbled and chaotic on your computer and your computer sucks, right? It's like all of these are considerations. So unless all of these pieces are in place, I would really ask yourself, why do you want to get to 10,000 a month that quickly? Why not take it slower and more patient and build the product right? Right? Because even with that, as I said, with the competitor automation, the price point is probably going to be between $200 and $400 per month. And he will have some manual steps to do that. And I said, this is good. This is called building it right. This is good. And then eventually we can outsource some of the steps to a VA who can take the exact same steps that you've done manually and you felt the pain of doing it repeatedly, so that you also have the insights of how to explain that to a VA. This is great. All right, so AI as a gateway to a broader service. What I was saying with that, instead of going for the immediate money, let's focus on optimizing ourselves, our work routine, the hours that we put in, building the product right. Instead of having the revenue as the goal, let's have the product and our reputation and the client interactions as a goal, right? Because why are you so hurried? Even if you have a family, why do you need 10,000? That's a lot of money. It's like probably, unless you have like huge mortgage. All I'm saying is, let's not go for the number for like status and significance and blowing the money on luxury items and all of that if we want the money for that. Let's be patient. Let's build the product right. I'd suggest to look at these years as a working season, as a work season to build something with patience. Because oftentimes this patience is then being rewarded. All right, but that's more personal philosophy than you probably asked for. Anyways, but yeah, the point of that being, all right, one product first, and then let's make it big. Make it good first, then make it big. All right, client education through community building. Yeah, communities are coming up more and more, and so a lot of people find their communities, and just because, yeah, and I think that is a great opportunity right now. Like it used to be Facebook groups, now they're school communities, they're all kinds of circle communities. Communities are a new opportunity to aggregate people, and I think it makes a lot of sense because different people, based on their needs, choose their communities. And if your AI solution is for a specific type of industry, which I think is smart, then why not aggregate all of these people in a kind of community of which there are also free choices. So you have all of your clients together, but and also for that reason it makes sense to be niche and narrow and focused on only one particular person so that they can relate to each other. And even if you only have 3 or 4 clients, consider having them get to know each other if that is possible for your solution. All right. Industry specialization versus cross-industry service. So the pros of that is that you have deep expertise in one field, and deep expertise is going to be required at many steps of the way about what you make your profile about, what you make content about or not content about, what do you write as the first headline, what are the pain points, what are the frustrations, how does the life of the person look like. All of that is going to help when you get on a call with a person and you can draw from experience that you already had with individuals in the similar industry. It will become much easier, because one of the things that must not happen on a sales call or on a discovery call or like a demo is that the person feels that you have no clue about the industry. Like you don't, and in order to have a clue about the industry, usually it takes years for you to speak the right language and know all of the details about it. And so that's required for the person on the other side to trust you enough to be able to assume that you have the solution for that. Competitive advantage and also stronger client relationships, which is important to not only get repeat business from one client, but eventually referrals. And for that, for people really to say you are that good, you gotta be that good in many different areas and have the depth, but across multiple different skills. So it's not that easy. And so doing that for, even if it's one solution for different industries, or even different industries around different businesses for different types of people, I mean, I don't think that this is necessarily that easy, and I haven't really seen a lot of people who have done that, solving all of these problems across different industries at the same time. So yeah, really consider going for one industry specialization. So the cons of that, it's a limited market, and that's a fallacy, because actually once you commit to one tiny little niche market of just a few billion, which is very likely when you what we call a niche, even if you say just dentist, it can go much deeper. Only private, like, I don't know how the insurance world works particularly well in the United States, so I shouldn't even talk about this example, but only dentists who private insurance, or like being paid in cash, whatever the right terminology for that is, not through insurance, in this certain part of the United States, who use this type of equipment, right, that runs on that type of software or whatever. That's an even deeper niche. All right, and the human in the loop remains essential. We've said this already. So the AI generates an output, we review that, we provide feedback, and then it adapts and learns. If this was valuable to you, then please let me know. If you like the shorter videos, because I think this was some 11 minutes, maybe a little bit too long, and I will make sure that the next videos will be